to another brand new week. Buenos dias, Claudia. Hi, Kelly. How are you guys doing this Monday morning? Are you guys ready for another new week? I need some positive vibes. Who doesn't need more positive vibes? Kelly, I think we all do. So let's get some from each other, okay? Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Christine. Yes, and all its possibilities. Yes, Claudia. Good morning, Jody. Guys, what are you grateful today, guys? Love starting with the ball. Yeah, Susan, I needed to ground myself a little bit. That's why I was playing the singing ball. Hi, Sue. I have a lot of ideas in my mind, and I was finding them racing around, and I just needed to calm down. So that's why gentle rain for the garden. Yes, I'm grateful that I found you on Inside Time. Oh, thank you, Claudia. I am grateful that you are here, because you guys, all of you, every week, you guys help me stay accountable to myself, and you guys help me keep researching, keep showing up. You are my accountability buddies, so thank you for that. Good morning, grateful for the big basket of peppers I just picked from your own garden. Susie, do you have your own garden? Because that's amazing. We are getting amazing. That's such a great way of grounding yourself, eh? Touching the earth, watching the plants grow, loving them, watering them. My wife is the gardener at home. I help her set up the stuff, but she's the one taking care, and she's the one who really enjoys the day-to-day. And we are getting lots of tomatoes now. Lots of tomatoes, lots of beans. Our bean plant is going bananas. Grateful for a new week and for your session today. Thank you, Kelly. This is a special session that I'm doing today on Monday because I have already 2 courses on Inside Timer. In case any new people here that didn't come to one of my sessions before, are you guys new to my live sessions? If that's you, just say me or yes or I'm new or whatever you want to say. I just want to know. Nice, Jody, welcome. Sue, welcome. River, hi. I know you from my course, River. Glenn, Claudia, Susan. Wow, a lot of new people. Okay, so guys, my name is Emilio Jose Garcia. Okay, I am the co-founder of a company called KW Professional Organizers, and since 2012 I have been helping people declutter and organize their homes and their lives. I attended half of your last live. Thank you, Claudia. So I started being present on Inside Timer, I think was February this year, so a few months ago, and I found such an engaging community here that I love doing the live sessions here. So I've been doing live sessions every week, normally Tuesdays and Fridays, and then I also created 2 courses. One course is a 10-day course about self-care, okay, improving your mental health with self-care, and the other course that I created is embracing minimalism in your life. So if you guys are interested in any of those topics, I think the topic that both topics are good for the topic of today, but embracing minimalism is probably the best suitable course before doing this course that I am about to create. And this course that I am about to create, it's to help you create your peaceful and clutter-free home. Because when we are getting started decluttering our lives, majority of the times people get started with their physical spaces. Why? Because it's what you see, because home is the place where you have to go back to relax. It should be a space that facilitates the lifestyle that you want to live. And if you cannot relax at home, if everything is a mess in your home, if you have piles, you will never be able to relax. You will never be able to do the activities that you want to do, because you will have that constant reminder of oh, I have to get to that, oh, I have to put that in its place, oh, that thing is out of place, oh, that thing is bugging me because I can exercise, because I cannot put my mat, because stuff is everywhere. So there are a lot of reasons why people get started with physical clutter. And just remember that your home is your shelter, is a basic human need, and you have to make sure that you create an environment that supports the person that you want to be. So this live session today, I want you guys to share with me what is standing on the way for you to create your peaceful and clutter-free home. Good morning, grateful for our shared experiences and wise teacher to guide us to our best life. Thank you, Becca. So some people, there is a circle here on Inside Timer. It's called Your Thriving Lifestyle. If someone can type it in the chat, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. In that circle, some people already shared amazing stuff that they want me to include in their courses. So I'm happy to share some of that, but I would like to hear from you, from all the people here in this session. Thank you, Veronica, so much for typing that in. So that's the circle that you can join. I normally share resources there after my live sessions. I share the recording sometimes, and I share courses that I've taken on Inside Timer that I loved, and you guys can share whatever you want in there too. Hi Osiris, hi Veronica. You are most welcome. Thank you so much, Veronica. So feel free to join there, but I would like to hear from you. Okay, River says, it's hard to get rid of stuff when you worry about not having it. So I may need it someday. The just in case. Thank you, River. And by the way, River has been a very engaged student in my course, Embracing Minimalism. She has done amazing work. And if you join the course, you will see that she has shared a lot of feedback in there. So thank you so much, River, for being such an engaged student there. So the just in case, it's a big one for a lot of people. So it's hard to get rid of stuff when you worry about not having it. But what do you mean by that specifically, River? Is this stuff that is expensive, it's difficult to get, and you are unsure if you're going to need it, and that's why? Like, what are the feelings and the emotions around that stuff that you are having a hard time? If you can be more specific, I can then try and help you more, and then I will understand better what do you need me to cover here. Because some people keep stuff because they have a mentality of lack. They believe that everything is helpful, and it is true. Everything that you have in your life, everything is helpful. Everything can serve a purpose. But the problem is that sometimes you don't need it. Even simple things like kitchenware. So in these cases, River, I think the best approach to this is to work on your awareness, right? And to really be specific about what is it that you want to see in your kitchen. So if you're talking about kitchenware, what's the problem? The problem is that you don't have enough space to keep that kitchenware. So you have too much kitchenware and you don't have enough storage space. Is that the problem? So that the stuff is everywhere in your kitchen and you cannot use your kitchen properly? Because there are different approaches depending on your needs, right? If you don't have physical space to store everything that you have, then you have a problem of, so it's organized well, but more than I need. Okay, so you are saying that it's more than you need. So I feel that you already know what you need. So why are you having trouble letting it go? What emotions are coming up for you? It's funny, it's normal, River. We all face these things. And I face these things with my own stuff, and then my wife needs to come to the rescue and then question me, because I always find a logical reason to keep things. We all find logical reasons to keep things. Amy says, I don't hoard, but I think it's because I have been homeless before. I have anxiety letting go unless I'm giving it to someone who needs it. Amy, that's amazing. And that's a great way of helping someone else. So letting go of things when you know that your things are going to someone else that needs them, that's a good way for you to be able to release them with love, because you are passing them along to someone else. So that's amazing. It must be lack mentally. So River, what will happen if you remove those things? So instead of you letting those things go from your kitchen that you are unsure of, because I will consider that a maybe pile that you are still dealing with, you are still emotionally attached to. So instead of making it hard for yourself to make a decision, could you take all those things that you feel you don't need, but you don't feel ready to let them go? Could you put them all in a box, label them, and put them outside of your kitchen in a storage area of your home? Do you have space to do that? Because if you do, that's an in-between step. Nothing, I will be happier. Yes, I can do that. So please do that. I do this with all of my clients. Anytime we are facing something that they are not ready to let go, if they do have the physical space, and I always dig deeper with them first, okay? And we do the session, and when we finish the session, they are facing stuff that then they feel confident making a decision about. But they still face some other stuff that they are not ready yet. And when they are not ready yet, there must be something in there that you have to deal with, an emotion that you need to understand, something you have to meditate on, or maybe it's just a matter of time. You need to be confident about, I have used my kitchen for a full month now, I didn't miss these things, so now I can release them with love and give them to someone else that may use them. So if you have the space to do that, put those things in a box, store them somewhere else outside of your kitchen, and put a reminder on your calendar to assess them. Maybe 1 month from now, maybe 2 months from now, maybe a week from now, you set that timeline, okay? And then that's gonna help you then revisit that decision, and then you're gonna check in with yourself. How am I feeling about this now? Did I miss it? If you missed it, you can go to the box and get it out and put it back in your kitchen. If you didn't miss it, you may feel confident to give it away, sell it, give it to a family member, whatever you feel. Don't throw it in the garbage, please. Don't throw things in the garbage if they are still usable, because there are so many avenues that you can explore rather than throwing things out, okay? I love putting a timer on it. Yeah, absolutely, it is necessary, okay? Put a timeline on it and put a reminder in your calendar, in your agenda, or whatever you use. And I recommend using masking tape or putting a label in the box and putting a date on it, okay? Nothing, I will be happier. Yes, I can do that. So please do that and then see how you feel after that. I struggle with perfectionist procrastination mentally. If I can do it just right, it feels overwhelming. I know logically this is an unhelpful and irrational belief. That is why I am here. Thank you, Amanda. I honor you for sharing this. Thank you so much. You are not alone in this, okay? I promise you are not alone in this. So many of us face this so many times. So I will ask you, could you please be specific about that specific thing? So what are you trying to do? What is the transformation that you are seeking? Is it a specific space in your home? What are you trying to do so that I can understand more? Please share that and then I can try and help you. So Becca says, books, what are your thoughts? Please. Becca, books. I will say, what is your frustration around books? What is your frustration about your books? What's bugging you about your books? Because I want you guys to notice what I'm doing here. I'm not telling you what to do because I don't know. I have some techniques, I have some how-tos, and I have a lot of experience helping people in their homes doing this thing. But I will not have the right answer for you unless I have a conversation with you. And what I'm doing is I'm extracting the answer from you. I'm not telling you what to do. I am going to ask you questions and I will find the answer from inside of you. So Becca, what's your frustration around books? Is it that you have too many? Is it that you don't have an adequate storage space for them? Is it that you are overwhelmed by the volume? Is it that you want to read 100 books a month and that's unrealistic? What's your frustration around books? They take up a lot of space. Self-help ones, I have not yet read. Okay, so do you have, Becca, can you create enough space for those books to store them nicely, or you don't have the physical space to do that? Second question, can you use the library system rather than you having to store all the books in your home? Because I personally use the library. Tomorrow I'm talking about this book, for example, and I don't own this book. I don't own a lot of books because the library has majority of the ones that I need. So I will only have here the ones that are very weird, very difficult to find. I may have a copy here, but I don't have a lot of them. But this is your personal choice. Do you have enough space to store them? I have memories of the time I read the books, although I will, oh wow, I'm losing the most likely not read them again. So are you able to let them go, the ones that you are not going to read again? Are you happy to let them go with love, and then if you need to refer to them, you can always go to your library or even buy a copy or borrow a copy from someone? Sandy says, I cleared my house out and put everything in the garage, which is now full, but cannot seem to face going in there to donate, sell, give. Okay, so Sandy, are you happy with how your home, the inside of your home looks like now? Are you happy with the result inside your home? Like, forget about the garage now, because what you have done is you have put all the mess in one place. That's your garage, and that's easy to do. The difficult piece is to actually decide what to do with those things. So my question to you is, like, are you enjoying the new home that you have created for yourself? Are you experiencing the change? Are you happy with what you have created? I have a room that I still haven't unpacked after moving. I want to use the space as a zen den, an extra closet space. Overwhelmed with how to organize the space to hold it all. Okay, so Amanda, you are not sure on how to store things in your room, and that's a normal feeling. So what we do normally with people when I'm helping them is I assess what they have. The first thing I do is always I try to get their vision, and you have a vision. You want to create a zen den, an extra closet space. So that's your transformation, right? So then we will do a decluttering session with you. I will invite you to assess everything that you have and decide what stays and what goes. And once we have in front of us only the things that you want to keep, that's when we will assess what kind of space you need. Do you need a bookshelf? Do you need shelves on the wall? Do you need a wardrobe? We brainstorm ideas on how to organize the things that you want to keep. So you see the process. We are looking at the things physically that you want to keep. I'm going to measure them. I'm going to see how much space they need. And then we're going to try and find the best solution to store those specific things. Okay, so that's the process that I will follow with you. And if for any reason that room is not big enough to store everything else that you want to store in there, then we have to look at other areas of your home, or we have to tweak your vision because your vision is not doable in that specific space. So again, if you are trying to store way more things than physical space that you have to store them, you have to reassess how you are using that space, because you have a physical barrier, a physical challenge of not having enough space. If you do have enough space, I will invite you to optimize vertical spaces in that room by adding shelving, by using a wardrobe, by using a dresser, by using different solutions that allow you to use the space vertically. Okay? And I will invite you to group things alike. So books with books, clothes with clothes, tools with tools, and try to create zones like a kindergarten. Okay, agree with Sandy. It's funny how often you look at the things you have held onto and can't even remember why you kept them. Yeah, and again, CJ, when that happens, that's a great opportunity for you to reassess that specific item and then to decide what to do with it. I need to look inside why I need to hold on to them. Yeah, exactly. There is always a reason inside of you of why you are having trouble. Because if it's something that you don't care about, you will just say, donate it, I don't care about it. But if you are attached to that thing, you need to dig deeper and understand what's here. What do I need to digest? What do I need to embrace? What do I need to accept? What do I need to do with this item? Because there is something there. Maybe you bought that item because you wanted to do something and then you didn't do it, and then you have some guilt in there because you dropped the ball, you didn't keep the commitment with yourself, and then that guilt is coming up. And every time you look at that item, you feel that you failed. Maybe it's just reassessing that expectation. Maybe letting go of that expectation of that activity that you no longer want to do. Or maybe you do want to do it and then you prioritize time to do it. You see, like you can start going deeper into these things and then make a more confident decision. So I hold on to items thinking at some time I will repurpose them, but now my closets are full of future projects. Dawn, home is beautiful. So amazing, Sandy. So Dawn, I will invite you to do, when I do sessions with clients and I'm going through things and projects start coming up, what I do with them, I keep a to-do list, okay? So I have a notepad with me and I will say, okay, what's the name of this project? They will tell me, I don't know, I need to stitch this sweater. I need to assemble this piece of furniture. I need to fix this electronic. So I start keeping track of all the projects and then I ask them, how long do you think this is gonna take? How much time? And they will say 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours. And what are the steps that you need to do? Or I have to go and buy this piece, or I have to spend 1 hour assessing. So I keep track of all those things. And you know what happens at the end of the session? I go back to the list. Once they have the space finished and the only thing on the floor is the to-do projects and the maybe piles, they enjoy so much the space finished that they say, I don't want to spend so much time in these projects because they are not meaningful to me anymore. So they will pick and choose the ones that they really want to do and they will let go of the rest. And if they decide to keep them all, we will put them in boxes with labels and we will put a deadline on it. Okay? So I hope this is helpful. Again, you need the space to store them. If you are limited by physical space and you don't have enough, you have to be more ruthless because that's the only way for you to create space. So for all of you living in smaller spaces, this decluttering process needs to be more ruthless because you don't have the luxury of physical space. So you have to declutter as much as you can. You have to optimize every space in your home, vertically speaking. You have to make sure that you have storage solutions and you have to optimize how you use the space. Okay? So I hope this is helpful. Me too. Desire to read all, but no time to read. I would like to use my garage, my car, rather than storage of things I haven't even looked at in a very long time. So Sandy, let me ask you a very direct question. What will happen if you just call a thrift store and you invite them to come with a truck and they will take everything away? How will you feel about that? You don't have to do this, but I want you to tell me what's coming up for you when I say that. A truck is gonna come tomorrow, they're gonna load everything in the truck, and then you're gonna open the garage and it's going to be empty. And you're gonna be able to park the car in there. How do you feel? Is that overwhelming? Is that causing you anxiety? Is that causing you relief? What emotion is coming up when I say that? Your house must look amazing, Emilio. Well, right now it doesn't, but I'm okay with it. Thank you for your direction, Emilio. When starting the declutter home, do you pull things out of the room completely to start with an empty room? I will panic too. Wait a second. Yes, overwhelming. Okay, Sandy. So you saying that it's overwhelming to you, it means that you have work to do there. Okay? And this is not physical work. This is mental and emotional work. You have to do it. You are procrastinating, but you have to do it. You need to do it. Because if you didn't need to do it, you will say, hell yeah, take it all. I don't need it. Bye. Someone will use it, right? But you're saying, no, that's overwhelming to me. So that means that there is something in there that you have to deal with. So you need to honor that. You need to allow yourself the time and space to go through these things. Okay? And if you cannot do it alone, ask for help. I don't know where you are located, but there are professional organizers pretty much anywhere that can help you go through this process. I can help you virtually too go through the process if you need to. Like, do whatever you need to do to be able to deal with that mess, to be able to digest whatever emotions are in there. Okay? Thank you for your direction. So, Amanda, you ask if we take everything out of the room completely to start with an empty room. It depends. Amanda, it depends. I have a look and it depends how the space looks like. It will vary, but what I can tell you is that I will try to find the room that makes the most sense to you, the one that's gonna give you the most joy, the one that it's gonna be very rewarding visually speaking. We're gonna be able to make a huge visual impact. Okay, why do I try to do that? Because by doing that, my clients message me after and say, Emilio, every time I feel bad, I go to that room that we did and I just feel amazing. I sit there for hours. That's what they tell me. I go to my basement that is organized and I just relax in there because the rest of my house is not finished yet and I don't feel well in it. And I love my basement. It's just everything. I know what everything is. I know it feels so good, right? So I'm trying to get that for you. So what I will do is, like, I will ask you, what is the room that you can benefit the most from? Okay? And if you tell me that specific room, I will look at the room and then I will say, are there things that don't belong here that we can clear out? That's the first thing. Are there things that you don't want and you are for sure, I don't need this? So I will do a decluttering first. Okay? Once I understand what you are trying to create, once I understand the transformation that you are seeking, I will invite you to close your eyes and describe to me what you see in that room. And once you can kind of tell me, you don't have to be very specific if you don't know yet, but you will be able to tell me, I want to be able to do this activity. I want to be able to feel this way. I don't want this. I don't want to see that. So I will ask you, what do you love from this space right now? What do you hate from this space right now? And then is your vision for this space? And then once I understand that, together we're gonna start in one corner of the room and we're gonna do a 360-degree wave. I call it the wave because the wave means that we will touch everything in that room. Are we gonna take everything out? It depends on how big the room is. It depends if there is space to work in the room or not. Sometimes we set a station outside of the room and I just bring things to the table and then my partner is helping me, or vice versa. If the room is big, sometimes we work in the room, but it's very methodical. We start in one corner and then I will touch every single thing in that room. And I will try to group things together as much as I can, okay? So if I see clothes, paperwork, tools, books, I will try to group things together so that you can see one category at the time. That's what I will try to do. And I will start with the categories that trigger you the least. Okay, so if I sense that books are very difficult for you, I will not get started decluttering books. I will get started decluttering something that you have confidence with, something that feels good to decide about now. So, oh yes, procrastination. I cannot face it, but I don't know why. London. Okay. Attachment to books started from childhood when there was a lack of time for fun. As an adult, I'm still not allowing for fun time. So this is so important, Becca. Why would you say that you are not allowing yourself fun time? Is it because you have that limiting belief, that mindset from when you were little that is still conditioning you? Is that what's happening here? Or do you have someone else in your home that is not allowing you for fun time? That's what I envision one day. Amanda, I declare well and scrupulously, but I know in the back of my mind I am not making a real commitment since it gets boxed and moved into the garage. Definitely need to see with the emotional aspect. Thank you. So Sandy, what's in those boxes? Are you willing to share what's in those boxes? Because maybe I can help you a bit further here. Like you box stuff in there. So what's in those boxes? You are welcome, Amanda. I understand that feeling, Sandy. Christine, smiley face. Okay, guys, feel free to share what else is coming up for you when you are trying to declutter your home. Like, for example, Juliana, I don't know if Juliana is here today, but she shared how to deal with very old clutter that you have no appetite whatsoever to review and declutter. So that's a really good one. And my gut feeling about this one is like, you are describing something that you don't want in your life, something that you feel frustrated about, and something that no longer serves you. So would you say that she should get rid of that clutter that is weighing her down, or would you say that she needs to keep it? So Susie says motivation to get started. Thank you, Susie, for sharing. Would you mind to share, like, what are you trying to get started doing? Like, if you want to share what do you want to get started doing, I can maybe help you out a little bit more. Move it forward, get rid of it. I say, yeah, move it forward, get rid of it. Plan to clear clutter on constant kitchen counter. Okay. And how are you planning on doing the decluttering in your kitchen, Polly? Okay, Georgia, Emilio, I did so much work and then I was promoted at work and I am so tired on my day off. How do I regain momentum so the clutter doesn't come back? So Georgia, I will say that you have to make the decluttering and the organizing a priority, and you have to do it in one go. And if you don't have time, get help. Invest a little bit of money, get it done, so that you go back home to a home that feels great, to a home that is finished, to a home that you only have to maintain. Guys, I sense that so many of you and so many of my clients, they drag the decluttering process forever and they never get to the final. They never get to the space that they want and need because they get dragged into the decluttering and they never finished. You have to finish it. You have to declutter and finish it, okay? And if you cannot do it alone, get help, do whatever it takes to finish it. I need to organize whole apartment, but overwhelmed, face the emotion once and get rid of it. So I don't have to. Pictures and baby clothes are the hardest for me. I have a scanner, but I'm afraid to destroy the actual picture. So many pics in frames. Everything from clothes, kitchen equipment, furniture, home accessories, books, leisure, equipment, papers. I am self-employed, so have to keep documents for 6 years. Okay, Sandy, I'm self-employed too, and we also have to keep documents for 7 years. But I don't know if you saw it, but my filing cabinet is this big. Because I have a system, I don't keep papers. You don't have to keep pretty much any papers. You can have all digitized, right? So if physical space is a problem for you, you don't have to keep the physical papers with you. You can have a system where you can keep them digitally. But let me ask you, you mentioned a lot of different categories. Like, why did you put those categories in those boxes? Sandy, you say furniture, home accessories, books, leisure equipment. Like, so what is your life vision? And how are these things fitting in that life vision? Like, because once you have a clear life vision that you want to create for yourself, you know the activities you want to do, and you get clear and grounded on that, and you commit to that, you will go back to those things, and then you will be able to decide they belong in my life or they don't. And if you face a maybe pile, put a timeline on it and reassess it in a month from now, in 2 months from now. And if it's important, make time for that activity. Make time to use those items. And if you find yourself that you didn't, reflect about it. Why didn't I? Is it important? Is it relevant? And you will start getting clear answers then. It's just a process. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and that's okay. Okay? So Jay says, I need to organize whole apartment, but overwhelmed. Jay, pick one space first. One space. The one that you can benefit the most from, and try to finish that space and keep the clutter outside of that space. When you do that, you're going to be able to experience that finished space, and then you're going to find motivation, excitement to keep going with the rest of your home. Okay? That's what I have seen from other people. Face the emotion once and get rid of it, so you don't have to have that feeling over and over. CJ, yes. And sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes things take a little bit longer than we want them to take. And that's okay. So you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. But sometimes things take a little bit longer than we would like them to take. And we need to embrace that too. Yes, Emilio, the control issue is harder. Perhaps it's a common thread among us. The control issue. Why is that control there? Just think about it. Why is that control there? How do you help people decide? How do you help people decide if they should sell, donate? Many things I struggle to let go of were costly, expensive since COVID, and dollars is lower. It is difficult to say goodbye to those things. Amanda, my question to you is, are you willing to spend the time to take pictures of the items, write a description, post them online, invite people to your home to see them, and then invite people to your home to get them out of the home? And are you willing to dedicate space for those items to be there until you sell them? Yes or no? Is it worth your time to do that? Yes or no? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. When I help people, sometimes they know for sure this item is worth my time to sell it, and they say this item is not. People who don't have physical space and they are overwhelmed with physical clutter to the ceilings, I will say, do you really have the time and the energy to really sell things? Or do you have to declutter your life because your mental health is affected by it? So there is a balance, right? You have to really, whatever you decide, you need to own that decision. So my question to you is, are you willing to spend the time that it takes to catalog, photograph, sell, invite people over, and store those items until you sell them? Yes or no? And do a little bit of research to find out the price. If the answer is yes, then do it, but get it done. If the answer is no, then get it done, donate them. And if the answer is I don't know, then get clear. You need to decide. Whatever you decide is gonna be good. Go with it, okay? Maybe do a sampling first. Maybe try to gauge which ones are the ones that are the most valuable and which ones are the ones that are not. And then again, if you have the whole day, you are not working right now and you are at home all day, maybe that can be your full-time job now. Just start cataloging. I did that for 2.5 years when I started my business. We have students here that they move out every 4 months. We were collecting things that they were putting on the curve, and we were reselling them. And we were making between $800 and $2,000 a month from doing that. So for us, that was good. Now it's not suitable. I don't want to spend that time. I'd rather be here with you guys. So for me now, it's not worth it to do that anymore. But at the time, it was worth it. I decided to do it. Now I decide it is a distraction for me. So I don't do it. And sometimes I walk past things and I am tempted to start. But then I question myself, do I want to spend the time, the space, or do I want to create another live session on Insight Timer? Or do I want to work on my next course on Insight Timer? Or do I want to spend more time with my daughter? And then I own that decision and I decide not to do it. Okay? So you have to try and do the same thing with you. I hope that was helpful. How about donating things that were expensive? River, the same idea, right? Same thing that I was telling before. Get clear on what is your expectation about that item. The first thing is emotionally cleaning your energy around that item. Clear yourself with that item. For example, if you spend $500 in a gym exercise equipment, for example, to do exercise, and you find yourself not using it and you feel guilty, before you even can deal with that item, you need to clear yourself. You need to look inside and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Okay, because I wanted to exercise. Why didn't I exercise? Because maybe you don't like exercising in the basement. Maybe you prefer to go to the gym. So if that's the answer, embrace that and say, I accept my decision. It was a bad mistake I made. I embrace it, but I want to move forward with the new decision that serves me better. I want to go to the gym because that's an option for me now. Or maybe it's like, you know what? I really enjoy exercising at home, but I didn't make it a priority. So I'm going to try really hard to carve time every day to go down and work out. So maybe that's your new intention. And then you are going to keep that item. Okay? But whatever you decide, you have to embrace it. And if it doesn't serve you, if it no longer serves you, that item, then try to sell it first. If you can, post a picture, post it for a price that you feel comfortable with, and give yourself a timeline. And if it doesn't sell, then what's the next step? Maybe reduce the price, maybe give it to someone that you will feel well about, maybe it's donating it, maybe it's like whatever. But you have to keep moving forward, because if that thing is taking space that you need for other things in your life, you need to think about what is the cost of inaction, okay? What is the cost of me not doing anything with this right now? Because guys, you only focus on the value of the actual item, but have you thought about how much is that item sitting there costing you? How much money, how much space, how much maintenance, how much energy draining, how much feelings of guilt, feelings of whatever is coming up for you? Have you thought about that? How much is that costing you? How much is that item costing you productivity wise? How much is that item costing you that is preventing you from doing something else with that space? So start thinking that way too, because it's not only about the value, financial value of the item. There is so much more than that. So I invite you to explore all those ideas and then get clear on what feels good to you. So let me read. There are so many comments, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up here. If I don't declutter, how will more new things which will serve me more calm? The need change with time. Lopa, decluttering is something that's going to happen over and over and over in your life, because every time your lifestyle changes, every time your needs change, every time your hobbies change, you are gonna need to revisit your space and you're gonna need to declutter and readjust, tweak. Okay, that's something that happens often. How often? It depends on how often your lifestyle changes. In our case, for example, at least once a year, we will declutter. At least once a year, every space in our house. Sometimes we don't do all at once. Sometimes it's when you are feeling frustrated. When we feel frustrated with our closet, my wife and I will say, let's book some time to declutter the closet because it's feeling heavy. It's feeling like it's not flowing well. The shed, the same thing. With COVID, we changed how we use our shed. It went from being workspace to being playful space, to store bicycles, bicycle trailer, exercise equipment, blah, blah, blah. So we need to readjust how we use the shed. Now we are working back, so we have to readjust again. So there is a constant, but we are maintaining more than decluttering. So that's the thing. When you have your home working, you have to keep maintaining it. And that maintenance involves revisiting the priorities, revisiting the items that you use, the ones that you don't use. And then it's not a big decluttering session. It's like a day-to-day maintenance. So we are going through the kitchen and, oh, you know what? Our daughter Eva no longer uses this cup because she's grown up. So that's donation. Boom, we put it away. So we don't do the whole kitchen at once. But as we use the kitchen, we are noticing things that are not flowing well. And we keep tweaking the system that we have. We keep maintaining. You understand what I'm saying? But you need to, for those of you who have a lot of clutter right now, you need to get to a place where you are maintaining, not decluttering. A place where you are feeling well, not overwhelmed constantly. And to get to that place, you have to do the decluttering. You have to have that life vision, that purpose, that intention, and you have to create that space in one go. That one go can be a few days, can be a few hours, can be a few weeks. Guys, I don't care how your space looks like. I have seen it all. I have seen garages packed to the ceiling, people saying it's been years, and in 5 hours, 10 hours, 2 days, we have done it. So it is doable. The barrier that you are facing is not physical. The items are physical. You can count them. There are only so many there. Guys, there are 100, 300, 1,000. I don't care. I don't care how many items are there. They are finite. Okay? They are not infinite. They are finite. You can count them. What's stopping you from doing that is your emotions, your mental clarity, your intention. Okay? So I hope that helps. Every time I start, I get stuck because I have nowhere to put things. So Jay, you say you have nowhere to put things, so that means that you don't have physical space to store the things that you are trying to keep, right? So you have done all the decluttering, you are only trying to organize the things that you want, and you don't have enough space to put them away. Am I right? Because if that's the case, then I'm sorry to say you have to declutter more or you have to create more homes. So those are the two options that you have. So if you have more things that you can store, you have two options. Option number one, you reduce the things that you own. Option number two, you increase the amount of storage space that you have. Okay? So you can do either of them. But I will invite you to really reassess what is your intention? What are you trying to do in that space? And then look at the things that you have and really be honest with yourself. Do I need all these things or do I don't? I like to change my interior when I get bored. Sandy, absolutely. Why? Because our home is our sanctuary, is our palace, is our sacred space. And we are all so unique and different that's the beautifying space that we always tell people. First you declutter, then you organize, put everything in a home, everything is functional, and then you beautify the space. Beautify means displaying the things that you love, painting the space in a color that makes you feel well, using accents, whatever you need to do in that space, having plans, whatever you have to do to make that space feel great to you. So in your case, you need to paint it. Go ahead and paint it. Change the interior when you get bored. Absolutely. Guys, we change our space all the time. I don't know how many couches we had. I don't know how many changes we have done in the layout. Amazing. Every time we feel stagnant, one of the things that we do, we just change our physical space. And it works because it's like fresh energy. You are assessing everything. You are setting the intention in your space. You are creating something new, and it just feels good. So try that next time. So Amanda River, I have the same thoughts. I am changing to knowing it takes more time and space keeping them. I am clearing my for sale pile. Amazing. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you, Sandy. Amanda River, yes, I have given gifts to those in need often in the past. Since dollar is very tight since COVID and health issues, anything helps right now. Amanda, absolutely. If you have the time and you enjoy the process, there is nothing wrong of you selling the things. But whatever you decide, you need to commit and you need to be honest with your decision and embrace it. I'm sorry I'm late, couldn't get on the platform. Sorry, youths. We are talking about how to create your peaceful and clutter-free home. And I'm just answering questions and inviting people to share what they would like to see in the new course that I'm about to create, so that I get clear on all the things that are challenging you to create in your home. I become overwhelmed by all the clutter and how to manage it. So Samantha, that's normal. That's very vague statement, meaning that it's not very specific. So I will invite you to get clear on what is your intention, what do you want to do in your home, in every space, and then start setting that intention, start visualizing how you use those spaces, how you want to feel in them, and then start getting clarity. Maybe start with one space, start and finish it, create something that you feel proud of, and that will create a ripple effect for you to feel motivated to keep going with the rest of your home. I hope that helps. But yeah, anytime someone tells me I'm overwhelmed, I need to organize my home, but it's not clear, it's not specific. I don't know how to take action on it. And that's what's happening to you guys. You are not creating something specific enough for you to feel inspired to take action because it's too big, it's too abstract, it's too overwhelming. It's just like a cloud on top of you that you don't know how to take, you don't know where to get started with. So that's why you have to narrow down. For some people, it works doing category by category. Some people, it works doing one space first and then the next space. For some other people, it works doing it all at once. There are so many different ways of doing this, but you just have to find something to get going. Okay, Nati says, how to deal with other people's clutter when you live with them and they refuse to accept that they are hoarding. My mom is beyond stubborn and obstinate, and it sends me crazy. I have found a place to live, but since breaking my wrist, have been delayed moving in. So that's a very tricky one, Nati, and that's clear communication is necessary. But when you share the space with someone else, it becomes tricky because, especially if the other person is not willing to even listen or change, and they are in their ways and they are happy with that, it's just you cannot change them. If they don't want to change, sad enough, you cannot change them. You can communicate how you feel, but so many times you have to create either physical boundaries of saying this is your room, this is my room, but sometimes that doesn't work either. And in that case, moving out is probably one of the best things you can do if you can, because then you don't have to face that. You don't have to work against that flow of that specific person that is your mom, and you are so attached emotionally with her too that probably you are not the best person to tell her what to do. And this happens to us. My wife is no one to tell her mom how to do things. We are no one to tell my parents how to do things, because they will not take that advice from us the same way that they will take it from someone else that is maybe neutral. And that's a reality, that family dynamics is real. And we have these dynamics going on, and so many times we just cannot break that. We are not the right people to do that. And if she's not willing to listen, she's not willing to change, and if she doesn't feel like she has a problem, it's just very difficult to make her change. You cannot force someone to change something that they don't want to change. So that's my advice. Maybe you have to be respectful. You have to try to communicate as much as you can. Try to clearly express your needs. Try to clearly find common ground with things, something that feels good to both parties, that is a compromise for both of you. But I have the feeling that her compromise won't be enough for you. So you are just facing a wall here, and that's sad, but that's the reality. And this happens to a lot of our clients and ourselves with our elder people. They have their own lifestyles, and we are no one to tell them how to live their lives. So they decide how they have their home, they decide what to keep, what to store, how to do it, and there is very little we can do here. So, but trying to communicate, trying to really express your feelings, how you feel, what you need, why you need that, how is this thing affecting your mental health, trying to find something that inspires them. Maybe they like doing a specific activity, so maybe helping them create a space to do that specific activity that they enjoy. It's an open door maybe for an opportunity to clear some clutter and maybe create something that they will enjoy and they are excited about. Again, I need way more context to be able to help you with this. I'm just giving you very vague guidelines, but I will need to have a conversation with her and with you together. That's what I would do if I was helping you. So I hope that was helpful. I don't know if that was helpful at all, but that's my experience. Yes, moving forward is key. There is a cost mentally to keeping things you don't want. Absolutely, River. It's called the cost of inaction. How much it's costing you to stay where you are now instead of moving forward. And for some people say, oh, it's not costing me anything. Well, think about it. Think about it, because I can tell you that there is a huge cost associated. You could set up an eBay or Etsy shop, Tina. Yeah, absolutely. You can set up something, I don't know where you live, but where we live, for example, we had things posted in Facebook Marketplace, works really well right now, and Kijiji. Those are the two platforms that we use here, but every location is gonna be different. So sometimes you can, once you have the description and the photos, I will invite you to post the same item in different platforms and then test them, see which one works best, okay? And once you figure it out, selling future items becomes easier. You become familiar, but you need to invest the time of doing this. And if you are willing to do it, then go ahead and do it. But if you feel that that's a lot of work, maybe you don't want to do it. And then you can remove the selling from that and just donate it and get it out of your space. So it is your choice. I donated a Nordic truck body PC. It was popular, but only fit in basement, and I hated going down there. Yeah, Osiris, so you hated doing that activity in that specific space, right? And that was a limitation for you. So you honor yourself, you grounded yourself, you asked yourself, and you came up with this realization. And that gave you the confidence to then decide what to do with it. You felt well donating it because you knew that it didn't serve you in that way in your life anymore. So that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Man, the clutter is paralyzing. Absolutely. And Samantha, it's gonna stay paralyzing you until you do something about it. That's the sad thing. The clutter is not gonna go away. It's gonna keep growing and growing and growing. So unless you take the intention and start taking action, the clutter is gonna stay there. So no one is gonna come and magically make it disappear if you don't invite them. So I hope that helps. I know how that feeling feels. I've been there too. And I know how difficult it is to see options when you are in that state. But that's why you are here. You're here. That means that you are trying to get out of that. You are trying to try something different. So I'm just giving you a bunch of ideas. Just take the one that you resonate the most with and then try to implement it. Try to start seeing little changes in your life. Sometimes I had clients, I had a very young client. Her Her name was Kim, and she was like 21 or 22. She called us. She told us, guys, it took me forever to call you. I honestly don't know how I found the energy to call you. I was almost canceling today too. I'm feeling very stressful, very anxious, because her home was a mess. She didn't have the habit of putting garbage in the garbage can, recycling in the recycling can. Everything was everywhere. It was a mess, right? And she knew it. But how did she find out? She found out after going traveling in Europe. She went traveling in Europe. She was doing couch surfing. She was staying at friends' homes. So she got exposed to different lifestyles. And she loved it so much. She loved the freedom. She loved having a nice home that looks clean, tidy, functional, inviting, that when she came back, she told us, she was describing us, I came back home, I put the key, I opened the door, and then I knew it. I cannot live like this anymore. And that's when she called us. So we went there, and then she was that way because she was raising a family that was the normality. Okay, that was the normality for her entire life. So she didn't have the opportunity to learn from someone. So what happened is like, she accepted that. She said, guys, I have no idea how to put the garbage in the garbage can. I don't know how to keep my house clean. I embrace that. This is where I am now, and I want change. So we did the change. We did 2 or 3 sessions with her. We assembled some furniture. We decluttered. We took away all the garbage, all the recycling. And then 3 years later, she's been in touch with us. There is a blog post about her story that I can share in the circle if you guys want, for you to read her own words. But basically, 3 years later, she got an amazing job that she wanted. She's coming to our live events when we have live events, and then she's telling us what she's doing. And she's always like telling us how happy she is that she found us and how happy she's with her life now. So sometimes it takes something extraordinary for you to be able to change. I'm just saying that. Sometimes you need to get out of your environment, get out of your routine, to be able to see the situation from a different angle. Hi everyone, I like my house free from clutter. It gives me such a peaceful feeling, but my kids and boyfriend keep cluttering every space. I find myself giving up sometimes. Tips. Marisa, feel your pain. I am same. I have conversations with my wife. You need clear communication with your partner. You need to be a team, because you have to teach your kids how to do this. They are learning from you. They are learning from what you do. So I will invite you to have a clear conversation with your partner. If you haven't yet, clearly communicate what is it that you need, why you need these things. Create a vision together, a couple's vision, a family vision together of how you want your house to look like, the activities that you want to do as a family. What are the standards of maintenance that you would like to see in your home? Like in our case, sometimes we had to set boundaries in the way of like, okay, one day you do the dishes, the next day I do the dishes. When it's my time with Eva, I'm responsible of putting all the toys that we use away. You are responsible when it's your time with her. There is no food allowed in the couch, or there is no... So you need to get clear on what are you comfortable with, what would you like to see in your home, what would the dynamics be between you. And then hopefully once you have that conversation, then you can find the common ground. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. I know it's a very tricky situation. Marisa, I know it's not easy to do, but when you are sharing the space, you need clear communication. You need to set clear boundaries and try the intentional dialogue. Actually, I'm gonna be doing that this week on Friday. Come to that live session, because that's gonna be an amazing tool that we use, my wife and I. Anytime we have a chat with each other, anytime we don't feel hurt, anytime we are hurting, we allow ourselves a little bit of time to do what's called an intentional dialogue, where we have time and space to share how we feel, and the other person is not to say anything, just listen. So come on Friday at 10 a.m. for that session, because that can help you. And I will share a book that you can follow that is very simple, and it's honestly so powerful. How to move forward when some of the things are worth money, but don't know which things and how much they are worth. So Kat, how to move forward? Inform yourself. Spend a little bit of time. Your next task should be go online, so catalog the things that you have, model, so like brand, model number, measurements, whatever you need information, go online, type that in Google and see how much they are going for. Go to the second hand places online, to eBay, see if there is anything else selling, see the price like average, and then you will feel comfortable selling those things at a price that feels right and is a market price. So that's your next step. That's so true. I don't know how to begin. I called, wait a second, learning to do one spade at a time is big harder. Another stumbling block is just moving things around instead of choosing to keep throw away. So Jay, you are describing the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is when you find yourself, you are trying to declutter a space, and then, oh, I found a pen. Oh, this pen belongs in the office. And then I go to the office, and then I am at the office. Oh, there is a phone that doesn't belong here, so I have to put it in the attic. Oh, go to the attic. Oh, there is this box that belongs in the garage. And then you find yourself doing all this, and then you don't finish anything. You are feeling more overwhelmed, and that's the butterfly effect, we call it. So that's what's happening here for you, I think. So I would recommend that you focus on one specific space. If you find things that belong in another space, make a pile for that space, but don't leave the space yet. Okay, finish the space first, and then take time to move things away. A brick wall. So trying to read this comment. My fiance and I are moving into our first home. I shared earlier that I have been homeless before. I feel like I should be grateful, but I'm just overwhelmed. I have a chronic illness and have lost most of my mobility. So do I start with paperwork? Do you have ideas on what I can do without my mobility? I used to be so independent, I feel stuck. Oh, so Amy, sorry to hear about your mobility limitations. In your case, more than ever, like decluttering and creating a simple space is even more important for you, because you don't have the mobility, you don't have the energy that you used to have before, so it takes you longer to do things. So that's your new reality. And I know it's hard to embrace that, but that's where you are now. So your goal should be to create a home that you can maintain easily. How to get there? There are many different ways. If getting help is an option for you, receive as much help as you can. Get clear on your intention, on your vision, on your desired outcomes in every space of your home, so that when help comes, you can direct them, you can tell them what you need, and you can tell them what you don't need. Paperwork takes normally a lot of time, and you don't see a big visual impact. I would recommend you take all the paperwork. If you don't need to find anything right now, put everything in a box, put everything in one place, contain all the paper in one place, okay, and then organize the physical space first. And then once you have a physical space that you feel comfortable, that you can work on, then you can go back to paperwork and then start carving at that pile of paper. But paper takes a long time, okay? Okay, so guys, we are getting to the end of the session. Wishing you all the best in your new, hopefully, clutter-free home, Amy. I was homeless once too, and I am blessed now to be in social housing. It gets messy and drives me mad, but count my blessings daily for roof over our heads. Amazing. Claire, thank you so much for sharing that. So grateful that you have a home now. Thank you for all the ideas. You are most welcome, and Anonymous. Claire, why I cry when I read your post. I have no words right now. Thank you. Sending you so much love. Thank you, Amy. Perhaps if we stop spending money acquiring stuff in an attempt to soothe our souls, we live in a capitalist society. Absolutely, Claire. I totally agree with that. It feels that we are trying to fill a void with physical things, but we are stopping to look inside and really appreciate what we have, and really fill our cup with other things, experiences, relationships, hobbies, not just physical things that they serve us, but they are not the priority. They shouldn't be the priority. Thank you, Riva, for your donation. So guys, this is the end. Yes, Emilio, thank you. I like your reminder that the items are finite. Thank you so much. I consider a fire daily. Love that story. Thank you. That story, I will share it in the circle because I invited her to write her own words in the blog, So I will share that in the circle if I can, because last week I was trying to share the resource and the circle was deleting my message all the time. So I hope that today it works. You are a great husband, Emilia. I'm sure your wife conquers. Well, I have my things too. It's conforming to hear everyone's story. So many. Yeah. So guys, I just before you go, if you can support me with a donation, I would love that. If not, please check out my courses on Insight Timer. I have 2 of them. And if you take the courses, the best way to support a teacher is by engaging in the course classroom, because we get rewarded by that. So if you take one of my courses, please share what you are doing, share any questions you may have in the course classroom, and I will be more than happy to support you. And the last thing I want to say is, like, Insight Timer came up with the one-on-one mentoring. This is a new service that they are offering. So I would like to offer that if you guys are interested, and I submitted my interest form, but I need your help. How can you help me? If you are interested in me doing workshops and doing something more personal for some of you guys, make sure that you contact Insight Timer and you request, I would like Emilio Jose Garcia to be able to offer this service because I am interested. So there are right now like 182 people. I guarantee you that if at least 50 people do that today, I guarantee you that I will be offering workshops very shortly. So if you want to help me out and you want to see me offering that, just contact Insight Timer and say, I want Emilio to be able to offer one-on-one mentoring. And then they will probably look at my application again and they will be able to allow me to do it. Just if you are interested. If you are not, that's totally okay. But that will be a great way for me to support you even deeper. Researching now. So Claire, they don't pay very much. I prefer to just give away in good karma. Thank you, Sandy. Feel the same way. Are there people who can be paid that know the worth? Maybe they take a percentage or are paid hourly. Yes, Sandy, I agree. I donate most of my stuff to charity shops. I love how you encourage us to embrace our truth and face the question, what is the cause of our well-being? Yeah, thank you, Becca. Thank you, Samantha, for donating. I love your suggestions, Emilio. You are so wise. Yes, this is my new reality. That is a beautiful way to reframe things. Get clear on each room and paperwork last. Love it. Amy, I wish you all the best. Please let me know if you need more support. And if you are a Members Plus, just take the course and ask me any questions there, and I will be able to support you further with an audio. Okay? Fatima, what is the name of the circle? Your Thriving Lifestyle. If someone can type it in the chat, I will really love that, please. Your Thriving Lifestyle. Emilio, I donated, but it didn't show. I know, Amy, sometimes it doesn't show. Insight Timer has a lot of glitches, but hopefully it will come out. Thank you, Shelly, for your donation. Emilio, I would love a 3-hour Zoom workshop that we pay for. Amy, please contact Insight Timer and ask them to offer me that option. Because right now, I'm not supposed to send you somewhere else. So I'm not supposed to send you to a private workshop that I run, and I don't want to do that. I want to do it between Insight Timer, but they have to give me the option of doing that, and it's not under my control. So you guys can have power on this by contacting them and requesting that I can do that. Thank you very much, Emilio. Much love and gratitude to you. Amazing. Okay, guys, I am ready to go. I will contact the Insight Timer to support. Thank you so much. Your Thriving Lifestyle, yeah. So inspiring. I'm happy for that. So guys, tomorrow I will be talking about this book. If you are interested, this will be the live session for tomorrow. The one thing, this is all about pretty much what we are talking about. Time management, how to use your intention, how to create a life that you love. So if you like it, show up, because this is a resource from someone else, but I really love it, and I will give you some main takeaways for you to be able to implement them. Okay? Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Series. Yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay? What is the name of your circle? Your Thriving Lifestyle, Amy. Okay? Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 10. Have an amazing day. Adios.